All right, now Phomolong Secondary School pupils should do their best in the face of tragedy and continue to learn. That was the message from the Basic Education Minister, Angie. She visited the school in Tembisa today. Now you'll remember that the Deputy Principal, Tembisa, was shot and killed outside the school last week. Terrible tragedy. And for more on this, our reporter Masego Rahlaga joins us. Masego, you were with the Minister today when she went to the school. What did she have to say?
Well, Sally, it was quite sad. You know, I think nobody who goes to that school or people who have any link to that school have gotten over what happened on Friday afternoon. So the minister arriving at the school to tell the pupils as well as the teachers and support staff that she was there just to convey her condolences. She says she remembers in particular around 2020 when we were still under level 5 of the lockdown, going to that school to go see how they are coping with COVID-19 and learning from home. She says she remembers meeting Tembisa at the time. She was head of geography at the school, and she says what she remembered about her was that she was quite caring. She was one of those teachers who were very proactive. And she says that she remembers in particular that she was told that this teacher is one of those who would buy pupils who are from unfortunate or disadvantaged backgrounds. She would take it upon herself to use her own salary to buy those pupils school uniforms and food, and that's why she felt that she, she was obligated to go to the school and to the family later this afternoon. She went there as well, Sally. She says that that's why she felt she needed to go. She also did say that she felt very hurt by media reports that initially came out, Sally. I don't know if you would remember saying that it was a matric pupil who had failed the 2021 academic year, who had come back to kill the deputy principal. But obviously that has come back to be untrue. We know that it was 3 armed men, and all of them, were not only wearing masks, but they were also wearing balaclavas. So all the witnesses describing what they were wearing, etc., but they couldn't describe exactly how the men looked. So she says she was heartbroken by that, but obviously says that she's in pains because, it's an educator, someone who was very prevalent at the school for many of the pupils and their lives. Let's have a listen to just a snippet of what the minister had to say.
So I want to say to teachers here, your pain is a pain. As I say, it was very shattering for me because it's really the death of a person that I would have met. I came here, met some of you, and left here very heartened when I came here, and you were explaining to me how you were dealing with teaching even under difficult conditions.
It's just such a terrible loss. So many questions around safety, I would imagine not only at that school, but given that we see so many incidents of shootings in and around schools, also vandalism. What did the minister have to say about school safety?
Well, Sally, she's definitely concerned. We did ask her that question, whether or not she's concerned about the safety at schools. This is not the first incident we're hearing about. We've heard about teacher-on-teacher violence, teacher-on-pupil violence, pupil-on-teacher violence, and even pupils killing each other. You know that, not so long ago we heard about that pupil who stabbed to death another pupil at a school in the Vaal. So she says that she is definitely concerned about it, but she says that she wants to ask South Africans to be a bit more patient in terms of what it is that the department can do to ensure that there's better security at schools. She says that it's not a blanket approach that can be taken because each school has its own type of building or structure. For instance, Sally, she says in the Vaal, there are some schools that, for instance, do have your metal detectors, etc. And she said that at that particular incident where the pupil actually managed to stab another pupil, he knew where the metal detectors were, and therefore he went around to another school gate, threw his bag over the gate, went inside the school, as if he wasn't carrying anything, so the metal detectors didn't detect anything that is, a dangerous weapon around him. And obviously he then went around to go fetch his bag where the knife was inside, and that's how he managed to get that weapon inside the school. But she also says with this incident, the principal was driving outside and she was killed right outside the gate. So she says It's also a societal issue, needing assistance from society, from South Africans to protect teachers. I mean, Sally, I had a conversation with my grandmother, and she was saying back in her day, public servants were more respected than they are now. Teachers and nurses were very respected by communities, and she's finding that that's no longer the case. So I think for the minister as well, she was saying it's also just the lack of respect for schools. She does, say that there are some areas that do protect the schools, and with this particular one, Phomolong Secondary School, you see adults who are wearing, for instance, your reflectors, who are looking after the well-being of the pupils and teachers at that school. Not a blanket approach, but she says, to be patient, they're trying to work on a solution.
Well, it's an absolutely urgent one. Thank you so much for bringing us the very latest on that tragedy. That was our reporter, Masego Rahlaga.